Reality. Reality receipts.
Welcome back to the Reality Receipts podcast starring me, Storytime with Ricky.
And me, Reality Ashley, and we had to jump on here real quick because the Love is Blind France reunion came out today, and we watched it. Shocked. I'm shocked. I did not see any of that coming. Everything I thought that was going to happen did not happen. Didn't see the other things coming. What did you think? Were you shocked?
I was shocked. I didn't expect that. I think because the USA version, we're just so prone to at least star couples like get married, stay together. And it seems like in the foreign seasons, that's not the case. They kind of are just like, marriage, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
they're like,
maybe they have a clause out there in the other countries that, like, the Love is Blind wedding isn't real, marriage doesn't count, because that's the only thing I can think of, because that's crazy.
yeah, it's like they just say I do over in Europe and they're like, we'll figure it out later. And then we get to the reunion and they're like, yeah, we're not together anymore. So
Yeah.
it's very different than the USA where they just give up before the altar, which I guess I just think maybe they take it more seriously in the other versions. Or I don't know if their contracts are more serious because it's
Maybe.
different production companies, right? So they might have a clause in the contract that says you have to go to the altar. And that puts a lot more pressure on, right? Because I think if you can bow out before the altar, it's a lot easier to just break up. But if you're up there in front of everybody, it's like more pressure to say yes, maybe.
Maybe. Maybe, but then it's like, I don't know, because to me, I'm like, even if you do feel like pressure to say yes in that moment, which I can see that being a thing, especially if your real friends and family are there,
Hmm.
it's not like we have these couples saying, like, he just said yes at the altar, and then as soon as we got home, we didn't try. It seems like there
Hmm.
was an attempt at some type of married life
Yeah.
in these situations, and it just, like, it didn't go as planned. But I was just so shocked about Julie and Charles. I
Yeah, I
was
know.
so shocked, you guys. They're not married anymore. Spoiler if you didn't watch it yet.
Yeah, if you didn't watch it, you're gonna get a lot of spoilers here because we're gonna tell you everything that happened. So,
Uh,
yeah, I definitely I just loved their story and that she immediately wasn't really attracted and then she was, right? Like that's the whole point of the damn show. And to
yes.
see a woman overcome that, because like we have said so many times talking about Love is Blind, we feel like women are more likely to see someone and be like, oh, that's not my type, I'm not attracted, and then throughout the weeks that they live together become attracted and be very happy. And sometimes women sort of need that, especially if you're always picking a certain type and it's going not well for you, right? And then you're like, oh, okay, this is what I should be doing.
Yeah.
And so we didn't see it coming that he was going to be the one to pull the plug. So
Yeah.
she said she did say he was texting or emailing another woman 4 days after, but they didn't really get
They
into that, did they?
I noticed that. First of all, the reunion did not have, um, a dubbing, so
Dubbing.
you did
Yeah.
have to read it. So I had to pause, they talk fast. I was like, "What what did they say?" So, yes, I feel like the host definitely skimmed over that. That definitely needed to be, "We need you to elaborate. What do you mean?" You know?
Mhm. The hosts were very, like they didn't really ask much. They
They
were
didn't
like,
have much.
"No,
Mm-mm.
I don't know who they are." Obviously, like, we're not in France, so they're a beautiful couple, and I'm sure, like, a good example of, like, a good marriage, but maybe not good at, like, getting into the tea and the drama, or they edited it out, which does happen, right? They try to keep it to a certain time, so maybe they did ask, and we just didn't get to see. Because yeah, I'm like, did he was it like an ex-girlfriend? Was it what happened in this text and this email? Like, we didn't get any details, so
Nothing. Nothing. Yeah, like, texting for a woman 4 days after the wedding is like,
and
even
it's
Nick and Vanessa would have caught that and said, "What do you mean?" Like, and I mean, it seemed like very, like, she's like, I mean, I don't is, like, space after you get married and, like, wanting clarity, is that a thing? I don't, I with this experiment being the way it is, I can see you maybe needing that space. What that's why I thought like,
Mhm.
oh, it's good that I think in one of the countries they let them go home for a week before the weddings, kind of gives them that clarity, gives them that space to themselves.
Yeah.
I think, if this is something that I really want to do, a month into it, it kind of just seems like, I mean, I think I would be a little offended.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't elaborate enough because it sounds like what he said was, "I need a partner who's a little more gentle." It sort of felt like he was sort of alluding to that she's kind of mean to him, and she said, like she agreed and said, "I'm passionate. I get angry." So a little more detail would have been good there because, of course, if she's constantly yelling at him and berating him, then it's like, okay, he had a good reason, and if it had been the other way around, we'd say she had a good reason, but they didn't elaborate really. She did say at one point, like, I wasn't attracted to him and I rose above it and I saw he made like a face. It was sort of like an eye roll. It kind of felt like that's something you heard a lot. So I wonder if once the cameras were off, that was a fight they were having a lot where she was kind of like, I didn't even like you at first, but like I got over that. So like why can't you be this or do this? You know what I mean? If that was
Yeah,
something she threw in his face a lot,
yeah.
I could see that being a problem. That would like, destroy your confidence, right? Constantly hearing, I didn't think you were cute, but here I am, so you should be thankful." So
Right. Or I think we kind of got a little glimpse of maybe how their arguments go in that dinner scene, where
mhm,
he's just very passive and she is more outspoken. She is more verbal. She is more like she has a very strong personality. And maybe he equates that to not respecting marriage, not respecting your partner. But I don't know, maybe she does have a sharp tongue. Like they kind of
yeah.
kept it cute. Um,
Yes, I think more details would have been helpful, like, who was he texting and what sort of things was she saying when he says you're passionate or angry, like, yeah, was it, like, mean-spirited things, or was it just, like, emotional and upset over little things? Like, yeah, we need more details to know what happened exactly because it
Yeah,
felt
'cause
like
he seemed really done. Like, even when the
yeah,
hosts were like, "Oh, there seems like there's love there," it seems to me like Julie kinda still wants to be with him, and he's like,
yeah,
"No, there's no chance." But also, like, right? I think he pulled a Casey, like, where it's like he was breaking up with her. I think telling somebody to move out of your house is, like, very clear, and then he's trying to make it
mhm,
seem like, "Oh, it's just because I need space," and then it's like, she said that she was calling and texting him, and he wasn't answering, and then you break up with
mhm.
her over a text like, you ask for a divorce via text, and, like, he's like, "Oh, no, like, I wasn't asking for a divorce." Like, I'm get sensing some
Yeah.
keenness here, and I don't know what it was, but all the girls were, like, kind of rolling their eyes. And Netflix is real messy because when they were talking about how things weren't working out between the 2 of them, they, like, had a shot of, like, Sarah, like, sipping her wine. I was like, "Look, messy."
Yeah. I think Sarah is feeling like she dodged a bullet, maybe, I don't know, maybe they would have been a better match, who
Yeah,
knows, but
but if
I
he thought that Julie was aggressive, uh, no, it definitely wouldn't have
yeah.
worked out with Sarah.
And, clearly he has a type, like, he is a passive person or seems to be, and so he's attracting these fiery women, which obviously will be a lot for him to take, so maybe this has been a lesson, which I think he did say, right? Like, he felt like he learned a lot and he's been able to tap into his emotions, but I think for her, probably, it's hard to feel like you're not even attracted to this man or you weren't at first, and now he's dumping
Yeah,
you, right? Like, that's an
that's
ego
why
hit.
they say, "Don't ever give the ugly guy a chance." That's what they say, Ashley, that's
Mhm,
a saying, not to say that he's ugly, because I don't think he's ugly by any means, but they just
mhm.
say the ones that you're not attracted to and the ones that you know, you feel like you're out of their league, do not give them a chance because they're gonna shit on you worse than the
You're gonna give them
uh,
confidence,
yeah,
right? And then
yeah.
they will do evil with that confidence. But, yeah, I don't feel like he had bad intentions. I think yeah, I don't even know if she really sat back and thought about it, if she would like him, right? I think now it's an ego thing or, like, a feeling rejected. So you're like, "Why doesn't he like me?" And now she wants him more, right? Which we all find ourselves in that position. And when if
Yeah.
you actually sat back, like if Charles was obsessed with her and like all over her, she might kind of be like, I don't know if I like him. But because he's like, I don't want you, she's
Why do
like,
you do that?
wait a
Why
minute.
do us women do that? We'd be
What?
like, "Oh," I said, "Why do us women do that?" Like,
Right? And, yeah, don't give the secret out to the men out there, right? But, yeah, once you if you act like you don't want someone not just for men, I
like
think for
the
anyone.
super nice guy we don't want, and then the one that's
Yeah.
kind of like douchey is like, we're like,
Yeah. It's just a ego thing, right? It's feeling like someone isn't easy to get, and so then you're like, "I have to have that person," even though maybe if you actually thought about it, they're not even what you want really,
yeah,
right? It doesn't seem like they're compatible, but I don't know if he has, like, a lot of money or what. Like, we looked up his job, it was a little confusing to us. It looks like he's, like, a CEO of some company, not that that's why she would want him, but, yeah, it just feels like I guess spending all that time in the pods, they share so much, and you really do fall in love with someone, so that could be what it is, but,
yeah,
yeah, she
oh,
did seem still very hurt and
very
upset
much.
and, like,
Yeah,
into him, so
yeah, and he seemed over it. He seemed over it. We did see Sarah come up for a little bit, and she again, they didn't even really talk about her connection with Charles. They just kind of showed their moments together, and then she apologized for one or two things that she said. As
Mhm.
I noticed that Julie's attitude when she came up was there's clearly still a problem there.
Yeah.
She was, like, rolling her eyes, and I guess it's like Sarah was maybe semi apologizing for some of the stuff she said about, Julie is what I'm assuming, but it wasn't clear. She was up there for, like, 5 minutes, and that
Mhm.
was that.
Yeah, it does seem like all of the women don't really like Julie, but I don't understand why. Like, is there something we didn't see, or are they all just mean and Julie is not? Because from what we saw, I felt like Julie was great. But now Charles is saying she's mean and the girls don't like her. So it's like, what's
Yeah,
happening here?
yeah.
But it could be just the girls because they were a little mean
They're I
sometimes we
mean, they're
saw. So,
mean girls. Actually, Sabrina actually shocked me this reunion. I felt like she was so poised, like, so well put
mhm.
together, like, so I don't know, like, maybe her and Van Mee, like, came up and, like, with a plan or something, but she seemed like a completely different person.
Yeah, I was shocked, like, uh, after we saw Julie and Charles, we saw Kim and Thomas. I thought Kim and Thomas and Sabrina and Van Mee were gonna be, like, our messy reunion couples, and they ended up being the least messy. Like, Kim and Thomas were just friends, everything's fine, we just
Saying
didn't work
jokes,
out.
they had, like, banter between each other, and I
Yeah,
was "Oh."
yeah. They didn't even try to date after, they're like, "No, we're just different." So, it is a little weird because we did see in their fights where he was like, "Oh, you just want your moment with the dress." It kind of like, we did agree, like, I think they both knew at the altar it was gonna be a no. They were kinda in on it together to get
Yeah.
this big moment, and, yeah, the fact that there doesn't seem to be any feelings there, it feels like they were never a couple, so
Yeah, I think they were friends from the jump, and they were both like, "Look, like, we're on TV, we're on Netflix, let's milk it. Let's not make each other look bad, like, it's not gonna do
mhm,
us any good." Like, he's getting dragged for being a carpenter and not really, being who he
mhm,
presented to be and maybe having some exes and some
mhm,
things going on before going, and people are dragging her ass up and down the internet too, saying that she's actually not this upper echelon bitch. Like, she got her teeth fixed, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that, but,
oh, I didn't.
got veneers, yeah.
You know my
Um,
eyes.
oh, yeah, I noticed it, but, people are saying that she's just kind of, like, putting on a persona or whatever. So I don't think it would have done them any good to, like, be at odds. It seemed like they had a conversation about it, and they honestly seemed really, like, really
Yeah.
great friends. I thought it was interesting that what did you think of her dating Clément? Or
Well,
what
they went
he
on a date, right? Like,
they went on
one
a
date.
date, but then he said his DMs is flooded,
Yeah.
girl. Like, he don't got time to be
He's
dating
not into Kim
all these
anymore. He's like, "I got all these options now," which
crazy.
is the problem with these shows, right? And that I think we mentioned this in our USA recap where it's like, I think the men now they are aware, right? If you're just on this show a little bit, you're gonna have all these women coming after you. So unless you went in genuinely really wanting to get married, it's hard to actually go through with that. Like, that's why I feel like some people are leaving now in the middle of the pods because they're like, okay, I got my minute and that's it. I don't actually want to be engaged or married. And
Yeah.
now I'm going to just enjoy all this like 15 minutes of fame I get. So Clement is doing that. I don't know if that was his intention, but he's definitely reaping the benefits now for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they straight out said they went on a date and she said he's not ready to commit to somebody, and he, in so many words, was
Hmm.
like, I mean, yeah, my DMs are flooded and I'm not ready
Yeah.
to somebody. Like, it's like, oh, damn, shit. At least they honest out in France.
Yes, which we do like. And yeah, I mean, I guess Clement is a hot commodity. I don't know. Like, if what are the ladies enjoying so much about him, do you think?
I think maybe that he's educated and that he has a good job.
Yeah. Hard to find these days, right? So
And
maybe hard to find on Love Is Blind only. Maybe not
yeah,
in the real world, but
I feel like the host just, like, got to the point with every couple, like, they just
yeah.
asked, "Are you guys together? What happened?" Showed us a
Mhm.
little recap, and then that was that, like,
Yeah, I missed a little bit of details, but they did have a lot of people. I still don't know why they keep these reunions to 1 hour. Like, I think we would all watch 2 hours or 3 hours. Like, I would like all the details, but I think maybe they do leave some things for them to talk about in interviews after podcasts. Like, otherwise we would have nothing to ask when we do get these interviews. So maybe it's on purpose. I don't know. This kind of just do like the bare bones of what happened and leave the
yeah,
details first for other things. So
yeah.
then they got into Yanik and Tatiana, who seemed to have a lot of animosity to each other still. They weren't like
Yeah,
friends.
honestly, my honest opinion is that Tatiana's the one with the animosity.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
he
seems
doesn't
fine.
seem he seems fine, and honestly, I even now in the reunion, I didn't understand what the issue was or what their
Yeah.
big thing was, like, because still, even in this reunion, she was not allowing him to speak. She was talking
Yeah.
over him. When he was trying to explain, his sentiments on things, she was talking over him. So,
Hmm.
I still don't get what the fucking problem was. I still
No.
don't get what the issue was on her end, and I guess they just chalked it up to, like, he doesn't understand her because she kept saying he basically, he talks a good game. He talks a good game, but there's no action, but it's like,
Hmm.
that's so vague. Like, what were you asking of him that he was not doing?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, she
that's the
kept
question I would have asked as the host. Like, you keep saying you needed action. Give us an example of the actions you were expecting of Yannick that he was not able to provide.
Yeah, it seemed like living arrangements that was a problem, but and she wanted action from him, but like we said before, you found out he owns a place in another town. Like, what did she expect him to do in such a short time? Right? Like, he can't just sell his place and move in with her. Like, they had a lot to figure out. So I think if they were genuinely in love, they should have maybe, decided to figure some of that stuff out later because you
But
can't
it seemed
really
like that's what he was
do
trying
that.
to do, and to
Yeah.
that was my interpretation of it, because she made a snarky comment that was like, his interpretation of being married is living separately, and it
Yeah.
probably wasn't. It was probably like, we are gonna have to live separately until we can figure it out, and then we
Hmm.
can live together, but it
Yeah,
seems like Tatiana's
realistically.
not down with that. Like, she wanted to move in together right away, but just like you have a son and responsibilities, which was very bizarre that that her mom called the kid baggage, but we'll
Yeah.
get there. But yeah, like, he has responsibilities too, but to the viewer, we didn't know. It seemed like he didn't have shit going on, so it's like, well, why wouldn't you move? And then we found out
Mhm.
with RT that, he works by his
And
place, his
businesses.
business is by his place, he owns his place. Paris has strict laws to where it's very hard to remove a tenant. So those were the factors that I guess they still didn't bring up on the reunion. But I thought
Mhm.
Yannick carried himself very well.
Yeah, I definitely feel like these are things they should have probably realized in the pods. Like, all of my responsibilities, my home owning, my businesses, I can't leave. You have a child, you can't leave. We're probably not going to be able to make this work. But I guess they're just in the heat of the moment and they don't think about it.
He said they didn't talk
So,
about that in the pods. You notice he said,
yeah.
I didn't know where she lived or what she did for work till after the pods."
Like, why would they
What
not
guys in
talk about
there
that?
talking
Yeah.
about?
Those are kind of important things before you get engaged to someone. So, yeah, I think given all of their baggage, all the responsibilities they have, they needed to accept that if we're getting married, those things are going to have to get figured out later. That can't be done in a month, right? And so she was expecting too much out of him. Like for him
Yeah,
to change all of his life in a month. Like, it's not just like a job that you can find a new job. It's like you own a business is different than I just work at this place and I can find a
yeah.
new place to work. So,
Yeah, and it's a
yeah, they didn't.
process, and I think that in that case, like, they both needed to be willing to I know she was saying there's no compromise, but I think the compromise is giving him some time to figure it out, right?
Yeah. It seems like she was acting like she has these businesses, she has a child, she has responsibilities, and he's like unemployed living with his mom. Like, you have no reason to not just jump on into my life, right? She's not really respecting that he has a lot of responsibilities too. So
Mhm.
I think her mom thought he was calling her son baggage because he said at 35, 40, you have 20 years of baggage. He said that first, but he wasn't, he said 20 years of emotional baggage. So he just meant all your breakups, all your previous
Yeah.
relationships, all that stuff. He never said child, but her mom took it that way for some reason.
Yeah, and I'm glad he clarified. I'm glad
Yeah.
he corrected her and said, I would never refer to a
Yeah.
child as baggage because people would have taken that and ate it up. But I'm glad he said that I refer to a child as love. And I do think that Yannick has this mentality of all you need is love. And I think that that's a very naive way to look at marriage because no, you need a
Mhm.
lot more than love. But I can tell that that is what, Tatiana is saying with like, it's a fairy tale. Like you're living in
Mhm.
like, like words, like not actions. And
Yeah.
because I think Yannick believes all you need is love. And then like you can figure the rest out.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, again, their issues still weren't clear. She still was talking over him.
No.
She still didn't let him answer. I think what did you think of that whole discussion about like you can stay out till 5 a.m., but as long as you come home? Because she had an
I
issue of him wanting to sleep at his place.
Yeah, I definitely think that might have come from a place of concern or jealousy or insecurity, like we saw with Van Mee when he was going out with his friends and he's like, "Oh, I'll just stay somewhere else because I'm going to my parents." It definitely never looks good when you're in a relationship and you sleep over somewhere else, right? Like it just but they have their own places, so it's
It's different,
tricky.
and it's different in this scenario, right? Because it's not like you
Mhm.
guys are a couple that met
Uh-huh.
and moved in and got
Yeah.
married. Like, right now, I'm sure it would be very bizarre if your husband was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go stay at my apartment." Like, but
No,
that's
he comes home and just gets locked in the garage instead, so
right. So I think Tatiana was also looking at this like, "This is a marriage. You are my husband.
yeah.
This is how it's supposed to be when we're engaged," and not
Mhm.
taking into account that, like, well, this experiment that we did is very different than a traditional marriage, so things are not
Mhm.
gonna necessarily look the same. Like, Matt and Colleen, didn't they wait, like, how many years?
Yeah,
A year or so before they moved in together, and we thought, "Oh my god, they're doomed." I mean, ultimately, we were right,
they were.
but they did stay married a lot longer than anybody expected.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they obviously had some non-negotiables going into this, like, neither of them are able to move, right? And that should have been something in the pods talked about, and they wouldn't
Yeah,
have got in this position. It should have been like, no matter who I find in here, no matter how much I'm in love, I cannot move because of my child or my businesses. So, no matter who I meet, if they don't live in my city, I can't make this work unless they're
yeah,
willing to live apart, right? So that seems like a simple conversation that could
very
have been
simple.
had
Mhm.
and they wouldn't be here. Because, yeah, once they got into the real world, they had this thing they couldn't get over. Like
Yeah,
they were having just completely different visions of a married life.
yeah,
It's not that he didn't want to live with her, he just couldn't up
yeah,
and leave all of his life.
yeah,
So
yeah,
weird that they didn't talk about that before. It
yeah.
seems like
It seems
obvious.
like a very
I feel
simple.
like that'd be my first question, like, "So where do you live?" And I live here and you live there. That's a big problem. So what are we gonna do about that? Like, it
Are you
would
willing
be
to move? And honestly,
yeah.
it seems like I mean, I thought when they were talking about they only lived 45 minutes from each other. And I'm like, why are we acting like you guys live 3 hours from each
Yeah.
other? 45 minutes that's like being like, I'm not going to date somebody that lives in downtown LA.
Yeah.
I can get there I, whatever. It's
Mhm.
just,
And it definitely seems like he was willing to make like probably take the time necessary to make it so they lived together, but it was gonna take time, right? And that's something he was fine with, and she wanted action immediately. So it
yeah,
almost feels like she was just coming up with an excuse to just not do it, right? Like she
right,
for
right.
whatever reason, I don't think if you really love someone and you want to be with them so badly, you wouldn't say, "Oh, you can't move in today, then it's not happening," right? Like
Or next week
there
or
would be
within the
some
month. You would
compromise.
understand that it needs time for
Mhm.
sure. And maybe it wasn't 45 minutes. I don't know if I just made that up, but you guys correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh.
But what did you think about the gaying?
Galen or
Gay,
whatever his name is. I
right.
thought it was weird that they brought him on stage. It's like, okay, weird that they brought him on stage because, like, you brought another woman over during the experiment and you got kicked out. So why do we need to see you again? But all right. And then they're going out to restaurants, meeting women during the
Right,
experiment. That's
right. That was
crazy. I
strange.
didn't.
That was strange. That was
They
strange. I
men
didn't know that
men cannot handle that. Like, I thought they were locked away, so these women in the pods are the only women they're talking to. I think they actually had a conversation about that on this season of the USA one, right? Where they were talking about how it must have been, like, a long time ago when you couldn't, like, Google porn. Remember this conversation? And
mm,
they're like, just the smallest thing gets you excited because you're so deprived of seeing women, right?
yeah,
And
I
so
don't think they let them do that
no.
in our version because it's honestly
It
like
would be
pods are 10 days long. Like
yeah.
you can go without going to a restaurant or whatever for 10 days. And Marissa said that, like, production ended up bringing her Taco Bell or like letting her go on a hike and stuff like that. I don't know if that's during pod time, but whatever the case is, they definitely weren't going out to bars and restaurants like during the pods. So
No, that seems like a recipe for disaster.
exactly what
As we
happened. A recipe for
uh,
exactly what happened.
yeah.
Like,
Well, we remember on season 3, Cole there was some kind of story about on the bachelor party. They went to a bar or near a bar or something, and he allegedly had given his number out to women, right? But no, it was never proven. But yeah, I feel like that could create a lot of messes, which I'm surprised they haven't gone that route before. That'd be a good storyline, right? Someone cheats on their bachelor party. Maybe that's next season. We'll
maybe
see.
that's
But
next season. They're
uh,
listening, so
yeah, we would like to see that storyline. So.
yeah, give her a little writer credit. No, just kidding.
Right? Like, imagine on the honeymoon and they see, like or, like, the little trip they go on and one of them, like, hooks up with the hotel staff, like, that's not
Or
been a storyline
something,
yet.
or yeah, somebody on the resort. Yeah, that would actually be tea.
Yeah, and I'm surprised, like, especially if a lot of these people aren't serious and actually don't like the person they're with it, you would think it happens more, right?
Maybe
So
we see it this season. It's not over yet. It's
true.
not over and they're
It's never too late.
and they're all so unserious. So, but I did think that how Gagin described it was very weird. Like what do you mean the rest is history? What do you mean? Like the wording, and
Yeah,
I don't know
we
if it was
want
just
details.
like the translation. It might have been the translation for us. Um,
Uh-huh.
yeah, one, you shouldn't be going to restaurants while you're in a social experiment. Two, so he met a woman and then brought her back to the hotel and got kicked out. Like, but his
Mhm.
excuse was that, oh, I was
He
planning
was leaving.
anyway.
Yeah.
You probably should have informed somebody of that. If you were planning on leaving, why are you out with the fast? Sir, you're so full of shit.
Yeah, I thought
But
that was just
kudos to him for having the balls to say it
yeah.
because a lot of people wouldn't have showed the fuck up.
Well, yeah, what else can you do, right? He just admitted what he did and that he didn't like anyone, and what else can you do? He said it what happened, and I mean, it was Tatiana that he was talking to when
Yeah.
it happened, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
He wasn't going to get engaged anyway. So, and you know what they didn't ask? They didn't ask if Patrick and Tatiana tried to date. They had a connection.
yeah, and they didn't who's Patrick?
Oh, Thomas. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
Thomas,
Um,
yeah. I'm like, yeah, Patrick. Wait a second. Which one was that?
Yeah, we're watching seasons right now. There's a past some
We have a
everybody.
lot of shows going on.
Thomas, they didn't ask if, hey, we have
Yeah.
a connection with you guys. Did you guys ever try anything out of the pods?
Yeah, and they didn't get they asked Tatiana if she's dating anyone. She said no, but then Yannick didn't answer that question,
They didn't ask him,
right?
did they?
N-
I don't
No,
think they asked him.
no. And so I thought like they were saving it, like maybe someone near the end he was going to be dating them, but no, he never found out what's going on with his love life. So who knows? But we did see Sarah apologize, like you said, and Kim apologized too, and Sabrina apologized all to Charles for like that whole the couple
No.
meetup
Yeah.
on the trip. Yeah, kind of making fun of his appearance, and then we got
And
into
funnily enough, he wore a green suit.
oh,
On the reunion! Of the
he's
Lord one!
embracing.
Of the Lord one! He's never beating the elf allegations because, oh my god, now that I think about it, I can't unsee Will Ferrell in his elf costume, and he kind of has the same color hair as Charles. Now all I see is elf. Oh my god.
It's hard to pull off green velvet and not give elf. I think like green velvet is very Christmas coded, so maybe it was like a little inside joke. Like he thought that would be
Maybe
funny.
maybe he did that intentionally. I'm gonna say that he did it intentionally.
He tried to be festive, but anyways, Jonathan and Cynthia, they obviously, I don't know. She tried to get back with him, is what we found out, and then they were going to meet up again. He pulled the plug. She seemed a little bitter. He seemed over it, and we see why because he's with Alice now, who we didn't see on the show, but she's a part of the cast. They gave a little flashback to their pod scenes, which I thought were cute. They
Yeah,
had like a lot of good banter.
yeah.
Lots of flirting. I don't know if she was joking when he said he saw her and said she was ugly. Like, I don't know if that was serious.
That's
She
never
jokes a
good.
lot.
Yeah, that's never a good sign if he did joke like that because there is some truth in there, but they
Yeah.
seem they seemed cute and um Cynthia definitely seemed before we brought Alice up, she seemed still interested. Like she was kind of like, I don't know, not maybe interested is not the right word, but like very emotion ridden when it came
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, she almost seemed as though something had been ruined or like they could have been something that got
Yeah.
ruined. Whereas like he was very much like from like immediately when we got on the trip, I knew like it wasn't going to work. We're just not a good match. He did at one point say like it wasn't the height thing, and she was like about to interject and say like I think that's what it was. Like I think she feels like he couldn't get over the height, and
That's
he feels like it's the personalities.
I
Yeah,
don't think it was the height at all. That's
no,
not the reason he ended the relationship. I think that
no,
he had an issue with the height in that argument, and in he felt an insecurity regarding her height, meeting the people for the first time, and like her wearing heels. I think that was
hmm,
definitely an issue for him. Do
yeah,
I think that that's why he ended their relationship? Absolutely not. You can look at all of their many, many conversations and see that they do not communicate on the same wavelength. They are not compatible, which was very
hmm,
bizarre that they were able to communicate very efficiently on this reunion.
yeah.
They did
I
a
think
great
he
job
was.
getting their points across.
Yeah, and I think he was just so over it, right? Like he just wanted to get out of the conversation without fighting. Because I know she would say something, he'd be like, "Yeah, I agree with that. I totally agree with that. Yes, whatever she said is what happened." Anyways, like let's talk about Alice now. So he
Yeah,
just wanted to like be
that's true.
done with that part. So
Yeah.
Alice said a few things I didn't know. Like, what's a coil? Do you know what she was talking about?
I have no idea what she was talking about. They thought that was hilarious. I was like,
Yeah. Like someone our French listeners tell us what a coil is and PSG. They said something. All these things I was writing down, like, I don't know what these are. So
yes. I was like, and again, it
no
might
idea.
have been the translation. That's probably not what they said. They also said that when
Yeah.
she was
Yeah.
saying slut, they were trans trans
Translating.
translating. I'm like, what the rest of that word?
Translating.
It's like it's like something really bizarre. Like,
Mhm. I know. Yeah, we just have to trust these translations, which I saw on the Netflix page yesterday. Like, you can hit like translate on a foreign page, which I always do, and I thought I was getting the right tea, but this time it was like or like blind wilderness reunion. They were calling it blind wilderness. So now I don't trust that
Yeah, our
button. I thought
translation
it
is
was
great. I'm pretty sure it was I don't understand how a quail can be funny, so I just don't think that's what she said, but we'll see.
no. Yeah. So then we got into Chloe and Alexander. I thought they were going to be the one still together couple, the one happy story. But
I
now, like,
thought
watch,
Julie and Charles were gonna be the one happy couple and still together, and I knew
yeah,
they were gonna be broken up. It was so obvious. And
yeah, the
exactly
wedding
what
wasn't good.
happened to him I mean, exactly what you've been saying, like, the pressure of being up there is basically what he said happened to him. You felt
Yeah,
pressure because everybody was there, so you just fucking said yes. Like,
yeah, yeah. Because his was it his mom or her
oh,
mom? Someone's grandma. Yeah, there
his
was
grandma was
family there. Yeah, and I think he just didn't want to let people down, which is
same.
sad because we see how much he was trying to tell her. It felt like he was kept saying like I'm not really there, and she definitely could have taken the hint and ended it, but she wanted to make it work so bad. So yeah, it's sad to see that this happened, but watching the wedding, it's like it isn't shocking, I guess.
Yeah, it's not I expected this one. They seem to be still really, really great friends.
Yeah,
And it seemed to me like she seemed very over it. I think probably watching it back, she was probably mortified and embarrassed.
yeah.
Um, but he did say something that like really confused me. And again, maybe it was the translation. He was like, I took a chance and basically I thought my feelings were gonna continue to grow for her and they didn't.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, I think he at the wedding, he wasn't there yet, right? Like, I don't even think did he even say, "I love you" before
He
the wedding?
didn't he didn't say I love you before the wedding and he
No.
didn't say I love you on the altar, but he did say it ultimately, like, to the camera. He did say it to her on
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah, so I think he thought he was gonna like we keep saying, like, give it a chance, and then after time, it will grow, but obviously it did not grow, so they're just separated, right? Not divorced yet.
Yeah, separated with no chance of
No.
reconciliation, is what it sounded like. They're probably in the process of getting a divorce.
Mhm. Yeah, then they got into Van Me and Sabrina, which I thought, like, saving them for last meant something was gonna go down, either, like, some good
Girl,
news, some bad
everything
news.
shining rainbows over there. They
Yeah.
was fucking best too. They must have been in the group chat with Kim and Thomas like, "Hey, guys,
Yeah.
we're gonna speak so highly of each other." But, I mean, I didn't expect Van Meet to trash her because
No.
but the host dropped the fucking bomb not showing the conversation not showing talking to Sabrina about her possessiveness, her crazy comments about, "Oh, are you gonna have female patients?" Her being so consumed with his ex, the fight with Kim, her accusing him of being attracted to Kim, the comments the sister made, that they just acted like none of that existed. That was a huge ball drop because that was such a big moment in the show.
Yeah. Yeah, and I definitely thought she was gonna come to the reunion because he came across pretty well, right, on the show, and she was kinda like the crazy possessive one, and part of me thought maybe he's not really like that off of camera and that she was gonna come to the reunion with a little bit of tea that he isn't really who he presented to be on the show, but no, I guess he is, and she's all of a sudden a brand new person, so it was, like,
She was so
they kept it
good.
cute.
She kept it so cute. I've
Yeah.
learned so much about myself after seeing it. Now I'm dating somebody, I can apply what I learned to him.
Mhm. It's very
Like
classy,
Gary
so
Kingar.
yes,
We
very
but
unmessy,
she didn't
so
say anything about her behavior either. She wasn't like, "I was embarrassing myself," like, "I'm not possessive anymore, I've learned to trust," you know what I mean? But I do think it was a huge ball drop moment, especially that fight in front of everyone and saying,
mhm.
"Oh, your ex-girlfriend, and they look like whores," like, I was like, "We're just not gonna talk about this? Okay."
I definitely think when this happens at a reunion, when 2 people come with, like, "Everything's great, they're great, I'm great, we're happy," it means I think some stuff happened off of camera for both of them that they don't want brought to the public, so it's sort of like, let's both keep it cute and then both our secrets stay secret. So that's kind of what I feel like happened. There's probably a lot more off camera that happened between them, but neither of them want it to come out. So they're just like, I won't say anything, you don't say anything. We'll just say everything is great and let it go. So,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
usually if only one person has been messy and one hasn't, they can't help but take that opportunity to throw them under the bus. But if you're both been messy, you don't want to throw them under the bus because then they're going to throw you under the bus. So that's what I think. But also, Van Mee does seem like a nice guy. So maybe he just, didn't want to throw her
He's
under the
like,
bus.
be less shy. And he's like, I don't know if
Yeah.
I could do that. And then he called her beautiful. Like, he finally called her
Yeah.
beautiful in front of everybody. Everyone cheered. Van
But then,
Mee's sexy. I think he's sexy.
yeah.
Like, I'm sure
He's
his DMs,
single,
I'm
so
sure his DMs are flooded.
you could be one more DM in a sea of
No,
DMs.
thank you.
Get on in there. Hey, I would like to go to Paris. So if you could get us
You can
to
just
Paris,
get on
you're
it.
going to see us on a flight tomorrow tracking down Van Mee for Ricky. So
I
it's
do.
a
I
long
found
way to
him
go.
very cute, but
Yeah, he is cute. And I mean, we haven't heard any tea. Like apparently he must be as good as he seems.
yeah.
So he's got these horror ex-girlfriends though, so he has to have a little bad bone in his body somewhere,
I
no?
don't know. She said they look like horrors.
They're probably just in like a nice little sundress or
Yeah, like,
something.
then accused him of, like, liking Kim, so I'm like, those 2 things don't align. They just don't align, so I don't
Yeah.
think so for a second, so.
No, him and Kim would not be a good match, I don't think. Like, personality-wise, she's pretty
I don't know why these
spicy.
passive guys like spicy women. We see that a lot. Like, not why, I don't know why. I think the juxtaposition is like that's
Oh,
what
good
they
word.
it's a big word. I learned it in college.
Fancy.
But I think we've seen it with, like, with Freddie, right, on Love Is Blind, like, he
Mhm.
went for Catherine, he went for Madison on Perfect Match, and then we have Van Mai, who went for somebody like Sabrina, you know,
Maybe it's because
somebody else this season too, who was Charles and Julie, like, you know what I mean, and Sarah, like, that's what he was attracted
I
to, but it's like, maybe it's too spicy.
I bet it's because I bet they are passive because their mothers were maybe not nice. And I bet they are attracted to not nice women because it's reminds them of their mothers.
That's
That's my
deep.
psychology guess of the day. If you're a psychologist, let us know. But I feel like if you're a passive, sort of like quieter man, you might have had a rough mom. And then that's what you're attracted to because men just want their mothers, unfortunately, is what we always hear. So
Mm, okay.
that's what they say. So
Well,
that's my guess. But
okay.
also, have you ever seen those memes where it's like the women sending back their husbands like chicken fingers because they're scared to talk to the waitress? That's what they just need someone to like yell at customer service for them. So because they're too chicken to do it. So.
Yeah, that's actually really funny because I think what you just said, like, I've definitely dated men that have been like, "Can you just, like, let he don't like you."
Or they're just scared to speak up. So you're like, I got this. I'll do it. So
Yeah, yeah, but I don't like that. I like a man that's, like,
takes charge.
takes
Yeah.
charge. I like a leader, I like an alpha, like, for sure, because I think that
Yes.
I have such a strong personality that I need an alpha. I don't need somebody that I can walk all over, like,
No. That's the thing, right? Like if you are a very passive man and a woman is very aggressive or spicy, it can get out of hand fast, which is what I think happened with Julie and Charles. I think if you have a passive man and you're not passive, you can either that can be a nice balance or you can run him over, right? Like you can just keep going, going, going,
yeah,
going. And he
no,
finally had enough,
no,
right?
how you guys let me tell you a funny story. So this guy was dating. You know him. The world doesn't. But I
Secret man.
yeah, I thought like he's very much an alpha, but
Hmm.
he also comes off very like golden retriever energy, very passive, right? And I'm like, I can be spicy, right? So I was being spicy, bitch, like spicy, 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 spicy. I didn't think he had it in him, bitch. He must have cussed me smooth. And
He
I
what?
didn't know about he cussed me smooth out, like, he barked back at me, and when he did, it was not nice. I was like, "What are you talking to?"
See,
But I
I think
don't know if I was, like, offended by it or like, "Oh, okay, so I can't just, like, say whatever and, like, you're just gonna
yeah,
take like little punk, like, you're gonna fuck it." Like, I didn't think he had it in him, like,
yeah.
and he,
I
yeah,
think that's
okay,
what
so you're not that passive, got it.
yeah, they I think that's what Julie maybe was doing with Charles, right? Like testing the limits. How far can I go before you finally put your foot down or step
Do
back to
something,
me?
right, and his
Yeah, and
response
he
to it was,
never wanted
"I'm
to.
not going to, so
Mhm.
I'm gonna remove myself from this situation because maybe I don't wanna be with somebody that's gonna bring that out of me," so,
Yeah, and he maybe just doesn't have that in him, right? And so
like,
it's
Ed
hard when two very passive people are together, like that doesn't go anywhere, but if one is passive and one isn't, it can yeah. I mean,
need, like,
he broke up with her, so
a little bit. Yeah, it's
yeah.
giving KB and Edmund, right? Like, we're seeing that on this, USA season of Love is Blind, where she has a very strong personality, and she's saying that she wants somebody strong, but she's now attracted somebody that's very, I don't wanna say weak, but, like, very childlike, very there's an
Mhm.
innocence to him. He's very passive, like, and she wants this protector, provider, and he's, like, none of those things. So it's like that's a match made in hell because
Yeah.
it's like, why you gonna call security if
Yeah.
so it just I don't know.
Yeah, I think it eventually needs to have a little bit of balance, right? So if he doesn't have that in him, which, obviously Charles did not, then it's not gonna work out, so
Yeah.
any final thoughts about Love is Blind France? I really loved it. I thought it was so good,
Oh, good.
except
I
for
thought it was so good.
none of the marriages worked out.
That's crazy, but I think as, coming from the USA season, we're, like, very like, we like that, right? Because we don't see it happen,
Mhm.
and what was the season we just watched where that happened too?
UK.
UK. All of the marriages, right? Or was
Yeah,
it oh my god, it was all again, right? So there was no one left standing. Oh, yeah.
which is funny because now that the USA one has premiered, all I'm seeing in the comments is like, "Oh, France is so much better, like, they're real over there, and they really love each other, and they're not, like, for the TVs like this," but it's like, okay, the USA one, at least they have a few marriages that stay together, like, France now we're 0 so far, so
Yes, it's like and like, that's what's so funny is, like, I was telling, somebody who I just don't imagine a world where nobody watches Love is Blind, but she doesn't watch the show, and I'm like, there are successful marriages from it. There are people that are still
Mhm,
together from season 1. There's people that have babies. There are people that are years into their marriage, so it does work. I think that we're ever gonna get those kind of marriages moving
mhm,
forward considering how popular the show is? No. But
mhm,
I think for USA, we would see no marriages before we see a marriage that is done by the reunion. But we have
yeah.
had the couples like Colleen and Matt, Ayana and Jared that broke up very shortly after, but they were at least together by the reunion. They at least lasted a year. These couples are
Well,
not even months.
they do have, some kind of rule in the contract in the USA one. I can't remember exactly what it is. It's they have to stay married 11 months after the wedding date or a certain amount of time after the last episode airs,
Yeah.
one or the other. So I think that is why. But either way, we still haven't seen any couples break up, like, right after the reunion. They usually give us a little more time, but there have been a few, like Danielle and Nick and a couple other ones. So
Yeah, yeah, but
they
it's
needed
it's really crazy though to see that they're not even breaking up. They're not even giving it a year. They're giving it's months, weeks after the wedding that they're
yeah.
calling it quits. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah, they definitely need to fix the contract, I think, but then maybe they would have more people drop out in the process, like the USA one, so
Yeah.
I wish they could just get people that actually wanna get married and realize that if you do get married, you really can get all these things that you want in terms of, like, fame and money, right? Like Lauren and Cameron, like, the couples that get married and stay together are the ones that end up being the most
I
loved,
don't
so
think so
if
though.
you can
I think to be a breakout character on this show, what other couples are big besides Lauren and Cameron?
There are, and I don't know if I would necessarily say big, but they're I would Garrett and Taylor and Amy and Johnny. They're out there like getting free stuff and traveling. I don't know what if they're making a full income and like that's their job now, but they definitely are able, I think, to at least that make it their job. So if that's what they were
Okay.
looking for, they can do that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, not only anyone's as big of a name as Lauren and Cameron,
Yeah.
but there are
They were also the
couples.
first, like, they were also season 1, so I think that has a lot to do with it, but I do think I mean, overall, I thought it was a really great season. We got a good mix of drama, a good mix of love. We did get I felt like it had that authentic feel to it, like, you do
Mhm.
there were some people there that, like, actually wanted to get married. Now I don't know if we're gonna find that anymore because I definitely feel on this season of USA, we have not a one person that's there because they just wanna get married, man or woman. So,
No.
but yeah, I thought it was good. I'd watch next season.
Yeah, I hope they do another one.
Yeah,
I thought it was good. I got no other thoughts. Just I enjoyed it, even if it none of them worked out. But maybe what's his name and Alex will get married, or Alice, and then we'll have one wedding, one marriage that lasts eventually down
there
the
we go.
road.
He
So
said he wanted to have her start a family with her, so that's a good
yeah, so maybe they will get a marriage, just not yet. So
yeah.
they'll come to the next reunion married, and then we'll be like, okay, season one did have a marriage,
Yeah,
just
it's
not the way
really
we
I
thought.
thought that was sad that she's like, "I thought this isn't how I thought it would go. I thought I would be telling you guys that I was pregnant or something." And I
Yeah.
thought the same thing. I think I said that in my recap, like, she's probably gonna be pregnant by the reunion.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird. It's very opposite of what we expect from the show. Like they were not she wasn't physically attracted, but fell in love and married him anyways. When it's like he is physically attracted to her as far as we know, but then personality, he couldn't make it work.
Yeah.
Who knows though? Maybe he's not physically attracted to her. He just never said that. We don't know. We just assume. We're like, he must be, but
Must be
he
'cause
never really said
yeah,
that.
but yeah, you never know. You never know. You never know people's preference.
Yeah.
I think we see that with Allie and Anton because I'm like, "She's so hot, and there's no way you don't like her," but then his weird little champagne pour made me, like, be like, "Wait, do you like her?" Like, so I don't know. We'll see.
I honestly think that was just his not wearing his glasses and being blind, because 'cause I'm the same way. I'm very oblivious without
Yeah.
my glasses. So I
Yeah.
think he was just in a bubble because he seems better these episodes, but we'll
We'll
see. We'll
see.
get to
We'll
that. If
see.
you're
The
watching that
Tuesday
one,
is coming. If
yes,
you're
we're
not
recapping.
watching that one, if you're not watching season 9, you guys, watch it. It's
It's
really
crazy.
you're not gonna get that love aspect, so if you want, like, this authentic love, you're not gonna get it, but
No.
you will be entertained, I'll tell you that, like, it is a shit show.
Yeah, they basically took a bunch of memes for people and put them on. Like, we got people kissing the floor. We got people calling themselves Sparkle Megan. We got people what else happened?
We've
A
got a
lot.
lot of stuff. We've got people blacked out and
Chodes.
drunk. We've got chodes. We've got, people saying they don't want their kids to be LGBTQ. So it's also sparking, like, obviously, like, more serious conversations. Like, we've got, you know, people
It's rage bait,
it's rage
basically.
bait. Yeah, like we've got a little bit of everything. We've got a little bit of everything. It's a dumpster
Yeah,
fire, but it's entertaining.
entertaining. Yeah,
Yeah.
so check out our recaps of that. We've got the first 6 episodes out. We have Love Island Games finale coming out tomorrow and all of our Bravo shows. So lots of content if you're a reality TV lover. And obviously, we'll be back with more Love is Blind France if they ever do that one again, too, because we loved it. So
Yes.
thanks for listening, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye guys.
Bye.
Reality. Reality in the seats.